what I should do is, in regards to doing business in the Philippines, I should actually make a list of all the people and business names of the people I did business with in the Philippines, and make mention of all the things that went wrong with all the different agreements. It would astound. It would just totally astound you to do what I do, to get through the day with what I have to do, and to try to do what I do with people. I actually sit down at the table and make a written list, write it down. I write it down in my handwriting. Then the person who was, we're just going to talk about a computer for a few minutes, who was going to fix the computer, wrote it down in his handwriting at 9:30 in the morning. And at which point, when he wrote that down, the list of what had to be done, he said, come back at 4 o'clock, it'll be done. So at 4 o'clock, I called him up and he didn't answer the phone. I was all the way at the other side of town. And I said, well, you know what? I'm coming back into the city tomorrow. This was a Tuesday morning. I believe it was a Tuesday. So I said, well, I'm just going to come back into the city tomorrow, and I got to go to the BQ Mall. Now, the computer store is in the Galleria Mall. Okay, so I'll just go there tomorrow morning, Wednesday. Well, I did that, and the store was closed, which brings me on to how many times the store was closed. We have to stop talking about the fact that the store was closed Wednesday and go backtrack for a moment, in a moment. So, the store is closed. No note on the door. No reason for the door to be closed. The 6 people that work in the store were not outside the store waiting to be let in the store. No one had the key to the store. No one was going to open the store. And the neighbors didn't know why the store was closed on a Wednesday. So this is not the first time. So I digress. So my computer was under warranty from a company that I bought the computer from. Thinking Tools gave me a 1-year warranty. They said for any problem. Well, that was a lie. That's just a straight up and down lie. Thinking Tools physically looked me in the eye and lied to me about what the warranty covered. The warranty covers hardware, not software. So, Thinking Tools, you could have them write it down, but it won't make a difference. They gave me a warranty for any problem, but no matter what it is, for 1 year, but that's not true. It's hardware only. And my problem was hardware and software. So I have to bring the unit to a Lenovo dealer in the Galleria Mall. So I bring the computer to the Galleria Mall in February, going back 2 months. And they said it will be done in a day or so, unless we have to send it out. Then it'll be 3 weeks. Well, it was more than 4 weeks. And what I did is I gave them a list. The same guy, Craig, the same guy, he had a list, item for item, in my handwriting the first time. The same guy. And he wrote it down, fixed these items, and they sent it to Manila, and it came back 5 weeks, 4.5 weeks. And it was late that day. They were closing the doors when I got to the store because they were closing early. They closed at 5, but at 4:30 they were closing. So, Craig, is the computer fixed? Yes, sir. So I took it. And when I got home, it was not fixed. Nothing was fixed. They were supposed to replace 3 USB ports. They did not do that. They were supposed to replace the microphone in the computer under, that's a hardware problem, under the hardware problem, but they did not replace the microphone. Then they told me when I brought it back, because I had to bring it back, that the microphone problem was not the microphone hardware, it was software. Just give us the computer and we'll fix it. And this goes back to about a month ago, 3 weeks ago. I give them the computer, come back at 4 o'clock, the problem will be fixed. We're going to do something in your DOS, whatever. I don't know anything about that. Well, I go back the next day, Wednesday, digressing forward. So, but just to digress backwards again. So when they took the computer for a month, I went after 4 weeks, 3.5 weeks, to the store. It was closed. No note on the door why it was closed. Weekday, middle of the afternoon. Well, the neighbor said there was a death in the family. Okay, there's a death in the family. Put a note on the door. No note. So I go back a week later, and they're still closed. But there's a note on the door saying that we'll be open on Saturday. So I go back on Saturday, and they were still closed. So all the texting I did and all the phone calls I did, no one returned my phone call. Now, moving forward, they have to now fix the software problem in the computer. And I bring it to them, I don't know, today's the 17th. I brought it to them on the 1st or 2nd. Come back at 4 o'clock. So I go back at 10 o'clock the next morning. They're closed. Well, I waited a week and I went back the day after the election. They were closed. A lot of stores were closed the day after the election. Some people said it was because the locals got their money and they take off the day that they get their money from the election. I don't know anything about this stuff. So now they're closed. So I wait 3 or 4 days and I go back there again. And they're closed again. So I go to the store next door. He says, they're closed again. Yes, sir. The owner had a heart attack. But they closed the whole store. There's 6 people that work there. Yes, sir. Well, there's no note on the door. There's no way to get in touch with them. They have my computer. Yes, sir. They'll be back next week, which is this week now. So yesterday, Monday, they don't answer the phone. The phone is busy, and then it rings. I text them, no message back. So today I call up. At 10 o'clock this morning, a 9:45. Is my computer done? Because I can't blame the guy for having a heart attack or the owner, but I want my computer back. Sir, the microphone was broke. I said, well, wait. That was a hardware problem you were supposed to fix in February. Yes, sir, but it broke again. So they sent it to Manila. They put a microphone in, hardware. It came back. It didn't work. It was a software problem. On February 1st or 2nd, they told me they'll charge me 700 pesos to fix the software problem. I said, okay, fix the software problem. But in the interim, between the 2nd and today, he forgot that he said it was a software problem and he was going to fix it for 700 pesos and went back to it's a hardware problem. So I said, hey, Craig, we sent it out for the hardware. Ah, that's right, sir. Well, and they put a new microphone in. Yes, sir, but it broke. I said, but now you say it's a software problem. It could be, sir. I said, that's not why I gave you the computer. I gave you the computer for a different reason. It's written down. Look at the list. Ah, yes, I see that now, sir. So you see why the computer's in the shop? Yes, sir. Did you fix that problem? No, sir. Did you look at that problem? No, sir. Can you look at the problem? Yes, sir. When? Maybe today, sir. what am I going to do? I'm going to go there tomorrow. Well, tomorrow's Wednesday. I'm probably going to go there Friday. I'm going to go there Friday. I need the computer. I'll give him 2 days to fix it. But if he doesn't have it fixed, then I'll bring it to another store. But my point is, for this guy has had my computer now 2 months. By the time I get there on Friday, 2 months, and hasn't fixed my computer, hasn't had it fixed, sent it to Manila, wasn't fixed in Manila, and the things that they said they fixed in Manila, the microphone, the new microphone broke, or they never put a microphone in, and the 3 USB ports they were supposed to replace because you have to play with them and they don't work. They never did that. They didn't do it last time. They didn't do it this time. That's today's big problem. Second problem today. Here. See this? This is called a sneaker. I ordered a size 13 sneaker from Merrell. Merrell.com. I ordered a size 13 sneaker. So I could put work socks in the sneaker and then it would be snug on my feet. They sent me a size 12.5. That's not 13. They never texted me. This is Merrell.com. This is not Lazada or Shopee. They never texted me that we'll give you the option to buy a 12.5 or a 13.5. No, they just sent a 12.5, which does not fit with the sock. So now these have to go back. I ordered Merrell sneakers from Lazada twice, and they never even got out of the delivery stage. They canceled the order. I ordered sneakers from Merrell on Shopee once. They'll be there in 10 days, and they never got to the delivery stage. So now I ordered it from Merrell.com, and they sent me the wrong size. I wanted a 13. Give me the option. Call me up. Text me. And did they tell me they were coming today with the order? No. They just showed up with the order. So what I have to do now is bring this back to the city, call them up, somehow get a refund, and find out where to bring the package back to get it refunded, and then order another pair of sneakers, which I ordered them on the 5th. It took 12 days. It was supposed to take 3 to 5 days. That's twice the length of time. So now I've ordered twice from Lazada, once from Shopee, once from Merrell. 3 times there was no order, never came. 3 times they took my money and refunded it. Once they didn't take my money and sent me the wrong order. And then they took it out of my credit card. They didn't bill me COD. So now I have to get a return on my credit card and return the sneaker, which means you have to stop at a store nothing that you do here in the Philippines, nothing across the board is what it appears to be when you're doing business. So last week I ordered 30 pipes. 30 pipes, because I'm getting ready to start to do some construction. 30 pipes. And the pipes I ordered, I should have gotten 30 pipes, right? So they send me a truck, COD, with 30 pipes on it. They were the 30 pipes from the last 20 bundles of pipe that people bent with the forklift. They laid on the ground too long and they got rusty at the warehouse. Somebody threw the pipes. Somebody dropped something on the pile of pipes and literally crushed 6 or 7 of the pipes with something that they put on top of the pipes, and the pipe had a bend in the pipe where you could just bend the scaffold pipe. And I said to the guy, I said, what is what is this? There's your 30 pipes. I says, no, those are 30 broken and or damaged they were literally rusted from the end of the pipe back 6 or 7 feet. You could see the rust right down to the metal. The galvanizing was wrong. The pipes were literally bent. So they had to go back. And the big screen TV that I brought it back to the city last week when I went to pick up my computer. It was 2.5 years old. It lasted about 1.5 years. He knows that it was broke after 1.5 years. I said to him, "What? Can you fix that?" "No, sir. Parts are not available for that. It's 4 years old." I said, "Well, yeah, I bought it 3 years ago." "Yes, sir, but it was 1 year old when you bought it." So I said, "So you can't fix it?" "No, sir." "So what should I do with it?" He said, "Well, buy another one, sir." So $400 for a big screen TV that lasted 1.5 years, that they knew was broke, but I just didn't have time to bring it into them and inconvenience to bring it in. So now the reality is, he wants me to buy another big screen TV for $400. So I said to him, "I'm not going to buy another television from you. This is theoretically brand new. It lasted 1.5 years. You knew it, bro. Why don't you give me a big screen, 39.5 inches, at cost?" Because he wanted another $440 for another computer. "And why don't you give it to me for $200? Eat it. Eat the profit on this one." "No, sir. We can't do that." I said, "Okay, so then what?" "No, you'll have to buy another one, sir, or go someplace else." I said, now there's a suggestion I could live with. So I took the TV home, and because the shop I brought it to that probably could fix it, an electronics store, we had a blackout 2 weeks ago in Bahal, and the shop was closed. So I think somebody can fix it for about 20 or 30 bucks, but we had a blackout, so I have to hump it back to the city again. It is so hard to do business here. I could go through 100 of these scenarios, no problem, 100 of them. The rebar bender that I bought works fine, but he never sent me the book for the parts, for the rebar bender parts, replacement parts, and he never sent me an instruction book for the rebar bender, which would not be problematic, except that in order for me to place the order for the rebar bender, him and I made an agreement. I will place the order, I will go to the bank, I will transfer the funds into your account, and you will snail mail me the service manual and the instruction manual for the machine from the company, parent company. And you will do that when the money goes through the bank today. I'll be in the bank. You'll send me the instruction manual and the service manual, the parts manual. Yes, sir. I never got that because there isn't any. So when I asked them to send it to me, "Sir, we sent it in the rebar bending tool box." So that took three weeks. It was supposed to take 6 days. It took 3 weeks to get here. In the box, there was no instruction manual and no service manual, parts service manual. I call up Ream, R-E-A-N, Ream. There's no "Sir, the shipper may have stolen the manual." How stupid is this? It's a lie. It's a straight... The shipper who gets a cellophane wrap box. Under the cellophane is a 1/4-inch plywood on top of a metal frame, and that's hermetically sealed in case it rains on the machine. And somehow Reen got the service manual through the cellophane and through the plywood, put it in the box. Then somebody wrapped the box back up again, and then they shipped it to me. And somehow the shipper opened up the cellophane, took off the plywood cover, stole my service manual and my parts manual, and then put the plywood back and then rewrapped it with saran wrap. Why? So the shipper doesn't own a rebar bender. The shipper doesn't steal service manuals for rebar bender. And that's the story I got from the seller. I never got a service manual. I never got a parts manual. I was promised it. Snail mail. I never got it. And this is what I got lied to. Now, is it a big deal? Yeah, it's a big deal because he lied to me. It's a big deal. In order to make the sale, I want the service manual and the parts manual for the machine, but he never gave that to me. It's a big deal because he lied to me to make the sale knowing he didn't have what he said he was going to have. It's a big deal. It's what they do. Craig said, come back at 4 o'clock, and 2 weeks later, I still don't have my computer, and he didn't fix it. And he forgot what the problems were until I made him open up the envelope that he made. His list is in the envelope that was scotch taped to the computer. When he opened up the envelope, he goes, no, we didn't fix those things. So, but that's what the list was for. Whoever serviced the machine would know what the problem is. They just lie to you. They just lie every inch of the way. So now he says, come back today. I can't go back there today. I have an appointment with the great Allo de Winter. Allo de Winter and I are going to work on a 2 or 3 part series about a couple of different bloggers. And the foibles, F-O-I-B-L-B-S, F-O-I-B-L-O-S, foibles of a couple of the bloggers. Allo de Winter and I are going to work on some of the lies, half-truths, and foibles of some people who really don't deserve to have YouTube channels, in my opinion. And they lie, they deceive, they cover up their lies with more lies, and then they lie about whether or not they lied, even though it's all in video format. So Allo de Winter and I are going to do a 100 list of the biggest lies, half-truths, and foibles on one particular blogger, basically, who is off the chain. He's broken every promise. He's lied through his teeths, all 6.5 teeths. He's got about 6.5 teeth, and he's lied through all of them equally. Well, the half tooth, you can only do so much lying through half a tooth, but we're gonna do a live stream. It'll be a 2 or 3 part live stream. This guy is actually now, somehow in his twisted sense of reality, is actually now supporting people of questionable character and removing any mention of my name in the chat, saying that we don't want to see any other channel's names but the guy who he's now, the 2 men, the creep number 2, who he's now full in on support. That's creep number 2. That's a manga from Thailand. Creep number 2. He goes by the name of Fig Newton. And the other guy he's supporting is a different manga. And mangas are, whatever they do here in the Philippines, apparently it's okay for the Philippines government that they do what they do. Okay, so this is not why I'm going to do this list of 100 things with the great Allo de Winter. I'm going to do it because he lied about so many things when it came to me and how he was theoretically supporting me, but then he and he's not taking sides, but then he took sides. So if you want to take sides, we're going to go all in on taking sides. So I won't divulge too much about this list of 100 things, but you know I have a list. I could read a few things off the list. One of he called me a bitch for not fighting back when I was cowardly attacked from the rear, stating this is the guy we're going, Aloe and I. This is well, for want of a better word, let's call him the bummer. Let's call him the bummer. The bummer stated originally that Fazio's a coward for not fighting back and letting a man hit him while he was down. And there's two ways to look at that. Why was I down? Why wasn't I able to get back up? I was hurt that much that to get back up would be pointless. But I already had it on video that I was attacked from the rear. There's no reason for me to fight back at that point. I'm in the right. I'm not going to jeopardize any other further engagement. But the bummer stated that I was a bitch for letting somebody hit me while I was down. And he would never do that. Yet, on his live stream yesterday, he said, if someone comes to attack him, now he's psychic, by the way. Now he's psychic. He said, if someone ever comes to attack him, he's going to turn on his live stream, catch the live stream live with the guy attacking him. He's not going to fight back. And then he's going to have the guy arrested like Fazio did. Oh, wait a second. 4 weeks ago, I was a coward. Now he's going to do exactly what I did, but I was not able to fight back because I was injured to that level of degree. So he is now going to lay down on the ground and let people kick and stomp him. And then somehow, miraculously, he's going to know when to put the live stream on so he can catch that. And this is the duplistic nature of this liar called the bummer. And he is the bummer. And one other comment I want to make about the bummer. I heard you say that you were going to post, your girlfriend, I heard you say it. Now, if she wants me to make out an affidavit, I'll be more than happy to do that. I heard you say that you had a particular girlfriend by a specific name, who I won't mention, and that she rimmed your circular orifice. She rimmed you. She gave you a rim job. And then you said, would you want to go out with a girl like that? I heard you say it. So if someone needs an affidavit to that level, being that you, the bummer, are now supporting creep number 2, the Fig Newton, and the other guy, being that you want to go all in on support for mongers, I'm going to go all in and offer my assistance in the form of an affidavit if I heard you say a specific person's name that you were going to, that she rimmed you, your circular orifice, she rimmed you, and you had pictures. You didn't say what kind of pictures, but you have pictures that you were going to post on the internet. And you don't think that would psychologically affect a woman? I think it would. I think it does. I think it did. So I think that you're a total worthless blogger. I think the entirety of your entire live streams and what you do is totally worthless. What is it that you do? What is it that you do that the creep, number 1 creep, we're not talking about the Fig Newton creep number 2. We're talking about the number 1 creep in this world. What is it that you do that's different than the number 1 creep? You do exactly what the number 1 creep does, has done, always has done, but now you're doing it. You sit in a room and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah all day. I'm going to do this. I'm going to get him arrested. I'm not going to get him arrested. He's not going to get arrested. I'm going to go there. And you've never done anything. You've run your mouth, just like creep number 1, The bummer runs his mouth just like creep number one. Same thing, back and forth, back and forth. He's lucky. He's lucky. His woman no woman got between you two. There was nothing stopping you from going in the restaurant, nothing at all, other than the fact that you were scared shirtless, and the other guy was scared shirtless, and that neither one of you wanted to go, which is good. Probably wouldn't have been a good thing, but the two of you running your mouth for weeks on end, who's going to beat who, neither one of you have the boys my mother was born with. Now, let me read the comments, because I see the great Scott Del Fuego. Okay, now let's go. We have Charles Brownson. Hey, Mike. Hey, Charles. The owner had a heart attack. Sir, out of stock. The owner, I think he did have a heart attack. He might have had a heart attack, considering all the lies this guy tells. Thank you. Papa Francis Faglio. Yes, sir. I gotta wipe my glasses. Hold on a minute. So, I'm gonna go. Me and Allo, the great Allo DeWinter. We're gonna do a several-part series. I got 40, 30, 36 items here on the list. Okay, sir, out of damaged stock. How not? No, they didn't have the stock. Why doesn't that surprise me? Their lies are laughable. They lie about everything. You give them money. Thankfully, I didn't pay for the 30 pipes. So now they had to bring the pipes back. And the owner actually called me up, because I've done business with the owner for years. He says, Mike, what was the problem with the pipes? I said, go look at the pipes. First of all, I didn't pay a reduced price for the pipe. I ordered them from the counter girl. I didn't get my discount, number one. Number two, I didn't call you up for the discount because it was an insignificant amount of money, about $8. You only get a 2% discount when you do business commercially with these people for this yard. So for $8, I'm not going to waste anybody's time for $8. I'll make it up on my next order, or I won't. But I said, go look at the pipe. It's all bent. It's all rusty. It's all smashed up on the ends. There are pieces that are kinked, 5 or 6 pieces that are literally kinked at about the 2/3 mark. I'm sorry for that. I said, but you made me wait for 2 days and you sent me garbage. Yes, sir. We'll make up for it next time. He's not going to make up for it next time. He's just going to send me the pipe that's not bent and give me my 2% discount, which I should have got from the sales girl who's been doing business with me for 5 years anyway. But she doesn't give it to me because the owner was out on lunch. She knows I get a 2% discount. She writes the 2% discount on the paper. She knows who I am. She didn't give it to me because the owner wasn't there to confirm it. So what? After 5 years, I get a 2% discount, and then on that day, I don't get a 2% discount? This is how they do business here. They even believe their own lies and are offended if you call them out on their lies. That's true. Wait, hey, bummer. We got something special planned for you, including the fact that I hope somebody can go back in time and look at your first 1,000 subs that were not gotten legitimately. And maybe your channel will disappear. Because you got those subs in blocks of 200 and 300 and 500. Those first 1,200 subs, you did not get 1,000 subs. I hope somebody can go back and notify YouTube that you or somebody bought those subs for you. I could prove it, but I don't want to go that far. But YouTube knows. YouTube knows you didn't get 200 subs one day, 300 3 days later, and 500 a week later. YouTube knows that. bummer. You want to take sides with someone who professes and enjoys being a monger? That's your prerogative. I will take sides with the other side, whatever the other side is. I don't care who the other side. You have made your point that you are going to do everything possible to keep my name off your page, and that's your prerogative. Remove my name whenever it appears on your page. That's your prerogative. Not read my comments when I left comments, and that's your prerogative. And never have you ever given me a shout out when I've given you several shout outs, and that's your prerogative. And let me tell you why I gave you those shout outs. Just to piss off somebody else. Your channel is basically just as worthless as his channel. Not much of a difference. You are two worthless bloggers. I only did it to piss somebody else off. I would never call you the Great Bummer, because you are a lot of things, but great you are not. And the fact that you brush your teeth with chewing tobacco is one of the most horrendous sights on YouTube. I never seen anybody brush their teeth with chewing tobacco. Circular orifice, LOL, says Charles Brownson. Okay, I could go into every electronic that I bought. Is garbage. What we bought a microwave? The microwave we bought. All right, granted, it was going. Daisy and I bought a microwave back in 2016. It was a Boston Bay microwave. It cost $60, which at the time was a decent amount of money to spend for a microwave. It lasted days, less than 6 days, 5 days. And I have the circuit. I just drew the circuit out in the yard the other day. It was a motherboard circuit. It took 3 weeks for them to get the motherboard circuit. They didn't charge me for it, though, because it was under warranty. Now, the microwave broke. The water cooler / water heater that I bought, the water heating element itself doesn't work. It never worked. But I don't use hot water from the water cooler heater, so it doesn't matter. The microwave we talked about. The big screen TV, $400, 1.5 years it lasted. I bought a brand new Milwaukee angle grinder. The cord was like a number 22 copper cord. It made the machine run, but as soon as you wrapped the cord around the machine a couple of times, internally the cord ruptured. So I had to replace the cord on a brand new Milwaukee grinder that I paid 7,000 pesos for, $140 for the machine. I had to replace the cord a few days after I bought the machine, and now it's 4 years old and runs fine. That's not the point. The point is they put a number 22 cord with cheap copper wire on a 7,000 peso machine. If I didn't know how to take it apart, and I bought a lamp cord, a number 16 lamp cord for the machine, it runs fine. But that's not the point. The point is they sell you a 7,000 peso machine, and it won't work. Most people will just throw it out because they won't know how to fix it. Everything you buy here, this tablet. I bought this tablet from Samsung, and a few weeks later, it had lines in the screen. So I brought it to the store, and I couldn't make the lines appear. And the guy goes, well, there's nothing wrong with the tablet. I'm going, the lines appear, they disappear like the 1980s. And the lines appear, and the lines disappear. Yes, sir, but we can't fix something. The lines are there. So Daisy got the lines working. This is back in 2016. She got the lines up on the screen. The guy takes the tablet, says, come back in 2 weeks. It was 2 months. Why? Because they didn't have the replacement motherboard for the brand new Samsung tablet, and they won't replace it with a new one. Oh, What about the computer I bought for 39,000 pesos 3 years ago? I walk into gadgets in the BQ Mall, not thinking tools, and I see them, something gadgets. 39,000. I put it down on the counter. The woman, they program the computer in the morning. I pick it up at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I bring it home. I grab 50 gigs of videos, and it freezes the computer up. You got to shut the computer off. None of that Control Alt and Delete stuff wouldn't work. Got to shut the computer down. Hard shut it down. Press the button and hold it on off. I bring it back the next day. I show them the problem. Yes, sir, there's a problem with the computer. I says, okay, give me back my money. It's written on my receipt. Money back guarantee for 7 days. I made her write it down. No, sir. No, sir, what? No, sir. No money back. You have to take a replacement computer. I said, okay, give me another one of these. We don't have any in stock, sir. So what do you have? She goes, we have one for 49,000 pesos. Oh, well, give me that one. Okay, so it was 49.9. She goes, you have to give me 11,000 pesos. 10.9. I said, for what? She goes, because the difference in the price. I said, I don't want to spend 50,000 pesos on a computer. Just give me back my money. No, sir. It's written on the guarantee you'll give me back my money for 7 days. Yes, sir, but I can't make those decisions. I said, you're the manager. Yes, sir. That's your signature. Yes, sir. Give me back my money. No, sir. I said, ma'am, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to walk out the door. There's a police station right behind the not the Capitol building, but there's a police station right behind the Bahal something. It's a big white building. It's where they do business. There's a I'm going to bring back a detective that he's going to get my money back for me because you wrote it down, or I'm going to file charges against you. Okay, sir. Okay, what? Are you going to give me back my money? No, sir. You can buy this one for 49.9. I had to go to the police station, bring back the detective who interviewed the manager, who agreed she wrote it down, who agreed that was her handwriting, who agreed she wrote it down with the intention of giving me back my money, but wanted me to buy a new one for 11,000 pesos more. So whatever they said in their language, it came back, so you can have your money back. I said, okay, thank you to the detective, and thank you to the manager. I'll take my money. No, sir, not today. We have to make a voucher and put it into corporate. You can come back tomorrow at 10 o'clock. I said, well, why don't you just give me my money back? You have the computer and you have the receipt. No, sir. So I had to go back the next day. The next day I go back to the voucher department. She goes, sir, you have to bring the manager who wrote this voucher out. I said, why? She goes, so we can confirm that it's legitimate voucher. I said, she works right there. They work 75 feet apart from one another. She's right there. Go ask her. So you have to bring her to this counter. So I had to get the manager, bring the manager back to the voucher department. They had to talk. She had to write something down. And then the voucher lady said, come back in an hour. I have to go to the bank to get the money. It's hard doing business here. And now, what, it took 1.5 years to get a rebar bender, 2 years to get a rebar tying machine. I'm working on another project now to get some equipment. Virtually impossible. But I'm going to have to go to America on eBay, buy it, and ship it here for, well, one item that weighs 2 pounds is $49 to ship. Another item is about $60, and another item cost 100 and 100 to ship because the items are not available in the Philippines. And then, of course, there's another item that I may or may not be able to get at all in the Philippines, which is closer to 1,000, north of 1,000. And my price online is north of 1,000. They just took that price and just doubled it. I said to them, you have access, I have access. You're going to buy it from the same place I buy it, or you're going to buy it from China. Give it to me for 30, make 30% on my price. No, sir. They're doubling the price. So, in other words, if my item is, say, $1,200, they want $2,400 for it. They want to make $1,200 on a $1,200 item that they're not going to touch. They're just going to order it and put it on the counter, and I got to pay for it. I said, well, I can order this from America. It just take a few weeks. Yes, sir, you do that. There's no reason or rhyme to the way they do business. You want to make $1,200 on a $1,200 part, and you don't want to give me a discount at all. Nothing. Zero. No, sir. It's $2,400. Why? That's what we charge, sir. I said, give it to me for $1,400. You make 10,000 pesos. No, sir. 2,400. I said, okay, I'll get the part from America. So now I got to go online in America, buy it online in America, and then ship it here at a cost of about $100. It's hard to do business here. You people want to come here and you want to you want to order dirt. Dirt was 700 pesos for a cubic meter 4 years ago. Now it's 1,200 pesos per cubic meter. Dirt went up 60%. Dirt, but 700 to 1,200, 500. Dirt went up 80%. The price of dirt, sand, gravel, crushed, because fuel went up. They blame everything on fuel. This is the Great Reset, in case anybody hasn't figured it out. And this is what it's going to be like for the rest of our lives. You're never going to get, there's no such thing as consumer business, consumer, like in America, if you have a complaint, Better Business Bureau. They don't have that here. You do business with the owner. He's gone for 3 weeks because he had a heart attack, 2 weeks because he had a heart attack. And who are you to complain to? The owner. That's all there is. Do they answer the phone? No. Do they answer your text message? No. 6 people in the store go home, don't work for now 2 weeks because the owner had a heart attack. 2 months ago, the owner's mother died. 2 weeks closed. In between, 7 individual business days, they were closed either due to one internet being down or power outage. You want to come here, live in the Philippines, you better have the patience that I have. And I only have this many patience because I've been in business my whole life. But I never saw anybody do business like this before. How do you shut a 6-man business down because one person has a heart attack? One person's mother dies. The internet is off. The people got paid after the election for their voting. And they just shut the business down because everybody had money and they were all drinking. Then I know that for a fact. The day before the election day, and the day after election, every single person in this entire community was drunk all day. They spent their entire, I think it was 700 pesos they got on alcohol. So, hey, Bummer, we're going to go all in on you, me and Aloe, the great Aloe de Winter. It's coming up. We're going to do like a 2 or 3 part segment because you chose sides. Even though after you said you didn't choose size, you chose sides. You've made your bed, and now you're going to lay in it. Scott Del Fuego says Chinese appliances are like Chinese food. Use them for an hour, and you need another one. They are. I don't know what to tell you. I have. You know, you have creep number one. There's two creeps now. Creep number one, who's otherwise known as the Bentalion Brawler, and creep number two, otherwise known as the Fig Newton. Creep number one has said repeatedly for years, look at those old tools, old 1980s Milwaukee tools that still run fine. An old Dayton grinder from the 1960s or before, a 1 horsepower Dayton grinder buffing wheel. It still runs like a top. So my tools that are old are still working. The crap I would buy here, I wanted to buy a vise here once. The vise, you could pick it up with 2 fingers. It was 7,000 pesos, 140 bucks. I'm going to be installing a vise on a live stream, in a week or so. I'm going to install a vise, a pipe vise, a man vise, and 2 different types of pipe vices, because I'm going to be cutting a lot of pipe. And I'm going to show you a vise that weighs north of 100 pounds. I don't know, 110, 115 pounds. Now, this vise is going back 100, 125 years old, this vise. It was my dad's father's vise. So my dad would be 92. His father would be 120. And he got it from his father. So it's going back 125 years, this vise, at least. I'll be installing that on one of my outside workstations this week or next week. And but the vise they wanted for 7,000 pesos, $140. You can pick it up with 2 fingers. It swivels, but it's garbage. You couldn't hold a 2-inch pipe in it. If you tightened it up as tight as it would go with the handle on the vise, you'd bend the handle before it would grab the pipe. So why do I stay here? Because it's a nice place to live, because I like to swim and I live near the ocean. And it's relatively inexpensive to live here. And yeah, doing business here sucks. But you have to remember, maybe you know nothing about America. America is no longer affordable for almost anybody in a nice area. Whereas the place I grew up in, a shack where I grew up in, is $800,000. Literally a little box house, 35 by 35, 2-story. Number one. Number two, the taxes are like $14,000, $15,000 a year. Why would I want to give my money to the government at this late stage in the game? It's a legitimate question. But this place sucks for doing business, but there's a lot of good sides to this area of the world. Number one, I don't live in a community where the septic water runs through the streets. There's no septic water running past the front of my house in the street. Anywhere from me to the main street. Okay, so I don't live in a slum. I don't live where there are beggars. There are no beggars where I live. Nobody walks around begging for money. So that's a nice thing. In America, you no longer can live or afford to buy a house, a nice house. I like living near the ocean. I have lived within 200 feet of the ocean since I was 5 years old. To do that now in America, you're looking at $1 million. I don't have $1 million. So, do you have $1 million? I will bet that my lifestyle, my entire life, is better than anything you have ever lived. That's, be honest with you. I lived in a 12,000 square foot property with 75 foot of waterfront property with a boat ramp and a boat cut and a boat davits to lift up a 12,000-pound boat. I had an acre of water behind my house leading out to the Atlantic Ocean, to the hottest dive site in the world, Key Largo diving area. And in front of the house was 2 acres of open land that nobody could ever build on. Did you ever live like that? In a concrete house with a concrete roof, with an ocean racer and a race car in the backyard. Did you ever live like that? Show us some proof. Put the link up. I'll okay the link later on. Show us some proof that you've owned a yacht, an ocean racer, a race car, $1 million house on the water. Have you? That's how I like to live, near the water. Now, I can't afford to live near the water in America anymore. Can't afford it. But I can afford to go like this to answer your question. I hope this answers your question, because if it doesn't, then you're just stone stupid. But I'll answer your question. You see that? That's the ocean. That's 200 feet away from my window. I look out the window, I look out the ocean, I watch people walking back and forth to the beach. A white sand beach with clear blue and green and turquoise water. Can you do that? Can you say the same? Show us your channel and show me how you live, and then that answers your question. That has to answer your question. I can live here and look at the ocean. I'm looking right now, I'm looking at the ocean. If I want to go to the ocean and go swimming, I am 90 seconds from where I'm sitting to the ocean. Can you say the same thing? That's how I've lived my entire life. This is, right now, I'm sitting in the furthest position I ever lived from a body of water. Key Largo, I was 60 feet away. New York, I was 120 feet away. My first apartment in Key Largo, I was 12 feet away. I lived there for 3 years. Let's see. My first apartment in America, I was 60 feet away. I had my boat in the backyard. My second apartment in America, I was 50 feet away. I had my boat in the backyard. And a nice driveway in the front. And I had a view of Manhattan and Jamaica Bay and Kennedy Airport from my second apartment. Can you say the same? That's why I live here. Did that answer your question? And if you don't answer my question, did it answer your question? I'll have somebody block you permanently for not showing the respect of answering my question. Did that answer your question? I gave you the time and the answer that you wanted. Show us something that you've done, where you've lived, how you've lived. I have hundreds of videos of all of what I just said. So show us something to the effect that you have lived better than me in America, living 60, 70, 80 feet away from the water with your boat in the backyard, and answer the question. Does that answer your question? Like everyone, Michael has some vices. No, I don't know who Gilbert Gottfried is, but thank you. Harry Blatz. I have a 2-bathroom, 4-bedroom, 2-kitchen house in America. I know what prices are in Queens, and you're probably talking about Rego Park area. Let me tell you something. You go into Howard Beach, Hamilton Beach, Lindenwood, that area there, for that house that you're talking 2 million, 1.3 to $2 million for a house like that. When Obama's plan to crash the economy and boost illegal immigration succeeded, it hurt how many successful business owners such as Michael? Right. So this guy here, so far, nobody at all, who hasn't answered my question. Okay, he's answered my question. Thank you. When Obama, I had a successful business in America. I worked 108 days a year in America, and I made, on average, $1,000 a day, on average. And that was all the money I needed to live. And I did that for 12 years. When they crashed the economy, I had 3 mortgages in America. 3. My mortgage for my house, my mortgage for a 2-story house we were going to build on a different canal, and a mortgage on a dry lot. I was paying $9,000 a month for bills when Obama crashed the economy. And they did crash the economy on purpose. So I didn't lose my property. The powers that be decided to crash the economy so they could take back some wealth. So I can't live like that anymore because nobody will ever make that kind of money again. A few people, yeah, with that their family have businesses and they've owned land and they own the equipment, but my mortgages destroyed my ability to earn a living in America. I couldn't afford $9,000. Just my mortgages were $9,000 a month. The mortgages included hurricane insurance, flood insurance, and mortgage payments, $9,000 a month. So I can't live in America anymore how I want to live in America. So I think that answers your question. Oh, stop. You've never seen me talk about the good. Now you're making this stuff up. I've talked good about the Philippines very often, but for the most part, to be honest with you, for the most part, Philippines, the culture in the Philippines has nothing to do with first world culture. Okay, you're just a regular viewer. When I show you the beaches in the Philippines, there's hundreds of videos of me diving and snorkeling all over the Philippines. Palawan. I spent 3 vacations, 7 weeks total in Palawan for all the islands and the peripherals. I've dove pretty much everywhere in Bohol that's worth diving, and the surrounding islands. Diving, not snorkeling, diving. I've snorkeled in many more places. There's a lot of beautiful things here, but it's not cheap here, and it's not like America. I can make a beautiful statement about how great some of the dive sites are, and it's more expensive to go diving in the Philippines than in America. A dive boat in America, you jump on a dive boat in America at mile marker 103 from the Amore Dive Center. You get on a boat with 40 passengers. You go a mile and a half to the cut. You go through the island of Key Largo, 6 miles out to the ocean. Beautiful trip. Oh my God, it's a beautiful trip. On the boat, they have a 48-inch big screen TV stereo system, free potato chips, 1 bag, free orange, one orange, free soda, 1 orange in the morning, same in the afternoon, freshwater showers, and plush seating. $65. 2 dives. Here, you get on a wooden boat with no it has 2 bathrooms on it. Here you get on a boat with no bathroom at all. Nothing. 0. No bathroom. If you have to go to the bathroom, you jump overboard. No water. No shower water. No drinking water. No water to rinse yourself off with. No food. No potato chips. No orange. And it's $70. So is it a beautiful place to go diving? Yes, but it's like 5 times the price of diving in America. There's no rhyme or reason to the Philippines. I try to tell people what the truth is about the Philippines. Want to know something that's a big plus here in the Philippines? When you go on out to the city, it's relatively safe. I've never been harassed or harangued in the city from anybody for money. No one ever tried to take my wallet. No one's ever tried to steal anything from me. I think that's a big plus in the Philippines. And that's one of the reasons why I live here. All my neighbors here, this is another big plus. All my neighbors here, they all say hello. We all talk to each other. I have not much to do with my neighbors because there's no communal commonalities between us. There's nothing I have in common with the people that are in the general area other than that we're friendly with one another. But it's a nice place to live where everybody says hello. That did not happen at all. That did not happen in Florida. I lived on the block in Florida for 13 years. I was friends with 2, possibly 3 of the immediate neighbors. The other 2 or 3 immediate neighbors were stone cold alcoholics. I mean, if you weren't an alcoholic and drank with them on a daily basis, you were never going to be their friend. But there's a lot of good points to the Philippines. But to go through what I went through with my computer, did you listen to the beginning? It's sick. It's sick. The guy wrote down the list of stuff in his handwriting. He was going to be the repair person. He didn't fix it. He forgot what the repairs were, and then he lied to me about whether or not it got fixed. How do you do business like that? Okay, I'm not a regular viewer. I've just seen occasionally. Okay, well, that's a fair answer. You must not have seen many of Michael's videos. He has much positive to say about the beauty and the people and the low crime. He just doesn't like the lack of business protocol. There is no business protocol. Thank you for the extended explanation. I was hoping there was something you enjoyed. Yes, sounds like some extremely bad employees. Well, nobody at all. There's no way to describe it. You didn't, this is the part that is the bad business part. I walked into Thinking Tools. I bought the computer. Nelson, who has been my friend and confidant and computer technician for 6 years, sold me the computer saying this 30,000 peso Lenovo computer was a good computer. So here's my friend and 6-year technician saying this is a great computer and it comes with a 100% warranty for parts and labor. Yes, but not software. So he lied about that. Then he said any kind of repair could be done by Sonjay Computer Repair in the Galleria Mall in one day. He lied about that. Sonjay is only a service center for Lenovo. Yes, they can fix certain things, but no, they don't stock parts. Hardware goes to Manila. Your computer goes to Manila. Software they can fix, but not hardware. So twice I have a hardware problem, twice my computer's gone. But I didn't buy a computer from Thinking Tools with 100% warranty that it could get fixed in Bohol in one day and then not have that happen. I bought a certain guarantee from a certain friend of mine for 6 years, technician who I trusted, and he lied to me. And when I went back there to tell him that the computer's now twice in the shop, he said, Mike, just buy another computer. They have no respect for you at all. Just buy another one. So, in other words, 30,000 pesos last June, and then I buy another one in May of this year. And I'd spend 80,000 pesos? I should be able to buy a 30,000 peso computer and use it for 3 or 4 years before it breaks. Mine's broke, been in the shop 3 times. To Manila, it's going back twice now, it looks like. I didn't buy a computer that was going to have to go to Manila. I bought a computer that was supposed to be able to be fixed in Bohol by the Lenovo Service Center. But they don't fix they only fix software. Nelson told me they fix anything, but they fix software. Then when I went back and complained to Nelson, he said, just buy another computer. Does Nelson have 30,000 pesos? No, he's a Filipino. Will he ever have 30,000 pesos? No, he's a Filipino. He works in a store for 336 pesos a day. Does Nelson care that he wants me to buy another computer? No, he doesn't care. If he did care, he wouldn't have sold me that Lenovo. Knowing that model, that make, has nothing but problems for the last year and a half, he shouldn't have sold me a Lenovo computer. He should have said, Mike, don't buy a Lenovo, buy an Asus. And I would have, except they only had an 85,000 peso Asus. And I don't want to spend 85,000 pesos on a gaming computer. I wanted a double screen Asus computer for 200,000 pesos, but they wouldn't order it from me. Even I gave them a 100,000 peso deposit. Give us a deposit and we'll order the computer for you. Show me the specifications for the computer. I'll give you 100,000 pesos. Sir, it changes from week to week, month to month. Okay, show me the specifications of the one you're going to order. And I'll give you 100,000 pesos right now, that day that I was in there. And give me a date that the computer's going to arrive by, a guaranteed date that the computer's going to arrive by, guaranteed date. I'll give you the 100,000 and a money-back guarantee if it's not there on that day. No, sir. What do you mean, no, sir? We can't specify a date. Why can't you specify a date? Because, hey, honey. Why can't you specify a date? Well, because it fluctuates. What fluctuates? You're ordering the computer from your company, Asus. Hey, honey, what's up? Whoa. Whoa. Snackers. Hello, sweetheart.
Really?
Yeah. Live stream.
Oh, you got that.
Look what I got.
We're ready now?
Look what I got. The wrong size.
Wrong size?
Wrong size.
Not 13?
No, not 13. Daisy says she can confirm that I ordered. What size did I order?
It's 13 money put.
What is it? It says 12.5.
US 13, UK 12.5.
Let me see.
That's why it's, US supposed to be UK.
Yeah, it's supposed to be UK 13. It's US 13. But because you know that there are 5 different. Shut the door, honey. I'm gonna put the aircon on for you. There are 5 different charts that you buy sneakers from. USA, UK, Japan, and Chinese. So there's one standard. The size I want is size 49, the number. In UK, that would be size 13 or 13.5 changes. But in US, that would be a size 14. Anyway, they sent me a 12.5, no matter. And it's a 46, not a 49. So it's still 3 sizes too small. Is this cold? Oh, thanks. It'll fit without the insole in it. Hopefully it'll stretch because I have really nothing to wear. I'm going to keep them, but next time I'll have to order a bigger sneaker. How you doing? Did you get everything you wanted?
Yeah.
Sandals? Yeah? Shirts? Daisy, did you get the shirts?
Yeah.
Yeah, baby. She went shopping for special shirts. I love my crazy boyfriend Michael Fazio shirts, and I love my crazy girlfriend Daisy May shirts, and she got them in yellow. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to read the comments. So thanks for watching, and we will say goodbye. I'm Big Permy, which means, of course, take care always. From Michael Fazio in the Philippines, baby. That's right. Thanks, Scott. Thanks for stopping by. And nobody at all. I tried to give you. If nobody at all, you want to see an interesting series of videos. I don't know how YouTube or Google posts them anymore, but Google my name, Michael Fazio with an S. Michael Fazio's Real Job. Want to see where I lived and how I lived? Google that. There used to be about 30 videos that would pop up from there. It had pictures of the house, the backyard, or you could Google Michael Fazio Key Largo videos. But Michael Fazio's Real Job had pictures of the whole property and the boats and the cars, etc., etc. So, thanks for stopping by, and I'm going to say goodbye because we're getting ready to make lunch. Talk to you guys later. Bye-bye for now. Oh, and look forward to the great Aloe De Winter and Michael Fazio. We're going to start having a little 1-hour skits on what we think about certain bloggers and whether or not they should even be allowed to be on YouTube, let alone with the lies, the half-truths, and the stories. The great Aloe De Winter and Michael Fazio are teaming up to get rid of the trash. Bye-bye for now. It's going to be a great series. I can sense it. I'll see you later, Scott.